All right, so we have a posted budget workshop meeting today that's scheduled immediately following our regular commissioners board meeting. I'll declare a quorum, call the workshop meeting for order. There's only one item, discussion 2022-23 Brown County budget issue. Let's see, it's 9:30 scheduled to the Sheriff Hill. Come on.
I might just take it real quick. I know as we started this budget out, we're starting on a number, we're starting with the high tax rate, we're starting what will be rollback in tax. All these figures we're looking at are at the highest tax rate, and possibly do that, which is not how we normally do this, but we start with the highest rate.
Hopefully we'll come in under that or adjust it. Not sure what fees will already what last year.
Right, well,
Yeah, what are we looking at the rate now?
43.
0.43. That's not 14%. Last year, 1.57 last year or something. Yeah.
48. 48.75.
9%. It's great for the taxpayer.
I'm not really.
Well, the appraisals went up. All right, Sheriff, go ahead.
Good morning, y'all. Appreciate y'all letting me come a week late. While I was off sick, I was watching the budget hearings during the process y'all was doing it, so I can kind of see the direction of y'all kind of looking at. And I appreciate the fact that y'all trying to do something a little more for the clerk's office. They're deserving of it. Watching all the department heads, I did not see a single department head say anything about the inability to recruit personnel. To let y'all know, I'm down 4 deputies right now. I've got 2 in the academy. They're supposed to graduate next month, so that's going to help a little bit.
Where is that academy right?
Colleen, Civil Texas College. So they'll be graduating next month, so that'll give me 2 more positions. Of course, there's a 4-month field training program.
Can I jump in?
Sure.
What's the word on when the next academy here in Brown?
I have no idea. They had to cancel the last one.
Right, because of COVID. I didn't know if you heard anything. That sure would help us with.
Right, it would, but it's not looking like that's gonna happen due to the low admission rate. And then that's gonna leave me 2 more, and the next academy is not gonna start until January. So I'm having a problem recruiting experienced personnel, like every other law enforcement in the state of Texas. I mean, it's not just me, but I feel like we've got to take a step to try to get to where we're going. And then on top of the positions that I have open now, I've got 3 senior deputies that are going to be retiring the next fiscal budget year. So that's going to be 3 more positions that I'm going to have to.
This October.
Well, they'll be starting in December through late summer. 3 more is going to retire. They're on top of their credit.
I was visiting with Temple College. They're going to start doing 3 academies a year. I know that's distance, but just to let you know that might help.
Colleen's actually doing 3 academies, but kind of fell the fall semester. But what I would like to propose, gentlemen, is to increase my certification pay to create a step program for my deputies. And it kind of mirrors what we did for the jail several years ago. And Commissioner Worry, I think you might have led that right after you was appointed commissioner to work with that situation we're having in the jail. So it kind of mirrors that a little bit. What I want to do is increase the steps. I'll give a step raise for a 1-year anniversary, which is $100, and then increasing the intermediate certification pay another $100, increasing the advanced certification pay $300, and then increasing the master certification pay $375. And that's kind of in line with what y'all historically been doing the last 2 or 3 years. It's $2,000 or 5%. That's kind of in line with that. The total estimated for the cost of the STEP program is $132,850 to implement that process. And the good thing about the STEP program, once those raises are given, we're not going to have to give raises anymore on top of that pay. I mean, that certification pay that's out there by itself, it's not considered part of the base pay, so we're not going to have to figure that into the upcoming raises. I think that's a plus. that we can look forward to. So that's basically it on the pay, and then on the jailers, of course, whatever we are looking at doing for the rest of the staff and the countywide.
So when you say you give them that night pay on, and then when everybody else gets a 3 or 5, you don't give in.
No, he's just saying that's not factored in, it's not 5% on top, including the certification.
And also for clarification, Commissioner, I'm not asking for the step in the certification pay and the 2,000 or 5%, whatever you all do. Just the one increase on the certification to create a step program where I've got officers and other agencies wanting to come, but it's gonna cost them over $10,000 a year to come to work for me with the experience that they have with the other agencies. But the insurance, we figure that's probably $4,000 or $5,000, and I'll make them understand that, but there's still $5,000 or $6,000 in salary that they'll be losing. It is affecting, well, basically, it's gonna affect everybody, because I want to start a step program after 1 year of the completion of probation. Right now, I've got 2.5 employees at that position. The intermediate, I have 4 employees. Advanced, I have 3 employees. In the masters, I have 19.5 employees. And again, I'm fixing to lose 3 of those. Did that answer your question? Ready to move on?
Yeah.
If you want to do that in lieu of type thing, whatever we might do.
Yes, and actually, this is the first time I've ever been able to come in here and say, I'm asking for something, and I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna pay for it by cutting it. I've never been able to do that before, but thanks to Commissioner Worthing, maybe I can because of a proposed lease program on some vehicles. The next budget item is, I want to create another patrol sergeant position.
Wait, do you have there?
I have 2. My ultimate goal, we have 4 shifts. My ultimate goal is, as we continue to progress, is to get 1 patrol sergeant per shift. That way that sergeant's rotating with the troops and there's no confusion on what's expected from them.
Liability, that's
No confusion, it's who's the boss.
Right, exactly. Because each supervisor does things a little different. The way it is now, they're rotating through and they're kind of staying confused. Although we're all getting to the ultimate goal, it's just different ways of getting there. It's well within the budget. But that increase is $2,400 per year, $200 per month. That's the rank pay. The next one, I'm going to skip down to the school resource deputy. Since the unfortunate incident in Uvalde, I'll talk to you a little bit about what's been going on there. I've been coordinating meetings with all the school superintendents and all the school principals in Brown County. And I'm not talking about the private schools, but all the public schools. And we've had 2 different meetings, and then we're having some Zoom meetings, and we're discussing security issues on how we're going to respond to critical incidents and what we expect from them. And we're trying to get uniformity throughout the county. That way, when we roll up, no matter what agency rolls up on the school, it's going to be the same security issues, and we know what we're going to have to deal with. In talking with the superintendents, they're really interested in getting a school resource deputy. And figuring in the base pay on the deputy, it's going to cost $16,076 per school and per Brown County. That'll be our portion of it too, $16,076. If the position requires the complete fringe benefits. Now, if we get somebody that doesn't require the dependent insurance, of course, we're going to be saving $20,000 there, roughly. And then also, if y'all do approve that position, then I'm going to need a vehicle for that. And that's going to be, we'll discuss the vehicles here in a second. So basically, that's the main issues that I'm wanting out of my budget. Although I need the requested ordinarily 4 vehicles that we've been getting a year. Commissioner Worley approached me with this lease program that I've attached to the deal. And I think that is an excellent idea. If we purchase the 4 up, and this process includes upfitting the patrol cars, we get them and they're ready to go. They got the equipment in them and we're ready to rock and roll. If we do 4 of those vehicles, The total, well, the 4 patrol vehicles is gonna be $230,782 to purchase those 4 vehicles. If we do the lease to purchase program, the price is gonna be $57,696 per year. That's for all 4 units. We'll pay that for 4 years. And the good thing about this lease program is it's on a 4-year plan where we have the option back to give them $1 and buy that vehicle back, and we still have a vehicle that's worth using. The way we're doing now, we're putting 6+ years on them, and we might get $300 or $400 for them by the time we're through with them. And we're just wearing them smooth
Is
out.
this Sparta or which leasing company?
It is. Goodness gracious.
American.
American National Lease.
Yeah, American National. I didn't give you a copy, I give them all one, sorry about that.
That's not fair, you said everything, radio on, radio up.
Well, now the radios, we've already purchased them, it's gonna be the other equipment, cameras, radars, emergency equipment. Now, if we do the school resource deputy, and another thing to that, I've offered for Brown County to purchase that vehicle outright, because during the summertime, this is gonna be an extra field deputy that I'm gonna have able to assign to the lake area or wherever we're gonna need. And I feel like, for me, to cover that whole expense for that vehicle, the school shouldn't have to pay for that expense, I don't think. And kind of the way this program's gonna work, the deputy is gonna go to these schools and spend the entire day at the school and just randomly go to these 4 rural schools, and just show up and be there. And can be used as a deterrent. The odds are, us being there on a particular day that something bad happens are slim, but it could happen. But this is also gonna give that deputy the ability to build a rapport with the students, where maybe we can have our foot in the door and get a little bit ahead of the game if something's going on, or they start hearing rumbles about it. But anyway, that vehicle on its own is gonna be $17,603 per year. And the reason being, the radio in it is $7,000, and that's gonna be just under $2,000 per year that we'll be paying additional on that unit. And by doing the lease purchase program, we're gonna be saving about $157,000 out of this year's budget. Just doing the lease vehicle purchase. And that's basically all I have to.
On the leasing the vehicle, like the sheriff said, we're spending at least $250,000 a year to purchase 4 vehicles. This way, we're gonna spend, what was it, $57,000 a year to have 4 vehicles. At the end of 4 years, we'll have 16 vehicles for $250,000 instead of 4. And then at the end of the lease, he mentioned that he could buy back those 4 vehicles for about $1 a piece, and then trade in some of his other older vehicles and keep it moving. So
I've learned that through. Before I retired as a chief, I had transitioned to that, and it worked fantastic.
It sounds great, I'm glad.
The only question I have is the different companies have different rules on what mechanical issues with vehicles. Of course, most of them are under warranty for the last couple of years.
All maintenance is on Brown County. I mean, it's our vehicles. All we're basically doing them is paying them to finance the lease purchase. And I do want to correct some numbers. I'll give you all another sheet. I was giving numbers off the original sheet. The annual payment is going to be $63,613 for the 4 patrol cars, and then the $17,603 for the school resource deputy program. And that's going to be a savings of $207,000. I really think that's going to be a great deal. I really believe the state of Texas is going to throw a lot of money towards school security. So for us to get a step ahead in the game, I think that's going to benefit us in the long run. For some other programs, just probably.
Questions for the sheriff?
And I'll just mention that the van that we purchased a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, will go a long way in getting a head start on it.
All that,
Paying that purchase for the sheriff's office.
Pardon? Yes, sir. I don't know if y'all seen the paper, but they have a picture of just a regular 15 plastic van.
Yeah.
That is not what y'all purchased for us. This is a big UPS style looking van. Yes, big box. And we've already started upfitting it, putting the equipment bins and all that.
Saw that.
Yeah. What the sheriff doing now?
Yeah. That's the Brownwood Bulletin. Yeah. Substituting.
stock, so we can have a stock.
Stock.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right, thank y'all.
So that, if he does this step program instead of the 5%, so that we
I don't know, I have to go in.
could do that.
All right, let's see, the clerks are back on here, but I don't see anybody here. You know, which clerk is,
I think it's all of us. All three of us.
do you want to step out and see if you find them, or do you want to speak more?
Yeah, no.
We're a little early, so it's no big deal if they're not ready.
And actually, I have said that I have had a hard time finding. He said nobody said that they've had a hard time hiring. I've had a position open for 5 months.
I remember.
I have 4 applications.
I remember you.
Yeah, so I did say that. He said nobody did, but I did.
Our county, so that's lawful.
Everybody in the state, they,
I know, they are. Everybody needs help.
everybody gonna do like that, no.
If you want to, see.
Yes, we'll buy your restaurant, get back to, put on our shop, bring it over.
Okay, Stephanie, do you mind going ahead and calling, the Humane Society and tell them they can have this way?
Sheriff, I don't know if we understood correctly a while ago. The STEP program, if you implement that, you don't want the normal raise that.
Correct, unless y'all just got it together, we'll gladly take this, but.
Right, but what you were saying is in the future, we don't have to add the 5% on top of the step.
Yes, but two is what I'm
This
saying,
year.
if y'all wanna do the step program and not do the other, right, I'm good with it.
Okay.
It would be great, it would get us a lot closer to the PD,
That
but
was the question I had, is I finally
I mean, that would put us real close to the Brownwood TV, so I understand that's probably not feasible.
All right, thank you.
Still understand that they should. Sounds too good to be true. Sounds too good to be true.
I think they're spreading the cost out more than just, that's how it's going on. You know, we're buying 200 vehicles at a time instead of.
They're still buying the vehicle, and they're paying the lease. We're still doing the purchase ourselves, and then they do the finance.
Well, basically, yes.
Josie.
We don't purchase. We have to organize.
We order through them.
We have to order it through the
Buy board or
whatever mechanism. And then they do the finance. But the deal is, instead of $250,000 to purchase 4 vehicles, we're going to spend 60. And he's got, the sheriff has approximately 16 patrol vehicles And that's why I kind of looked at
The
four
price
years.
has been coming at least we talked about. Everybody, all the things.
Yeah, Brown, the city of Brown was going several years ago. Right. Whatever.
I used to use a functional smart gas, which I don't know if they're still around, that's 15 years ago. They were fantastic.
One of the places that we talked to Joel on his road was the same place, American Legion.
Well, that's what I'm
I remember one that day,
What we done.
Oh, that's different.
we're gonna talk about this.
Well,
You're on the cap.
I know, but at the time, I'm buying the road, the further back before it hadn't been paid.
What I'm saying is we called that American Leasing to finance the motor grader that Joel is about to purchase.
We've already made the agreement with that. But anyway,
Yeah.
the thing is, they didn't have a good deal.
That's okay.
And I'm very thick.
But our repository is next right now, so they wouldn't do
This deal on
they wouldn't do a
gas,
fixed rate.
they didn't have to be for good though.
Gas
It's
was,
like that one time I had that one road there for 5 years, it cost $11,000.
they quit that road, they quit the guaranteed buyback program. And no longer have the guaranteed buyback.
So it needs to be looked into.
And I would, if this road grader still had a steering wheel on it, this right here, we would probably check this one and look really fine, trade those older ones in and do something later. But it's not gonna keep all that steering.
Like that joystick.
Well, you got one guy, you still for it, so long that, but you get one guy that really good, you know, switch one around, another guy that's still, it just, I'm not.
Both clerks are out today. And, but they were, we were here the other day and we talked with, Josie. And we tried to work something out for that we bought and agreed upon as clerks. So we've already agreed upon what we would like. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
And Josie has those figures, I believe, that we talked to her about.
So in talking to them, I went across the board and looked at all the clerical people and looked at their tenure also. And I came up with it's not really a formula, it's just a step to bring them up to a decent amount. Her girls, her new girls, bring them up. Cheryl had some girls that were there 6 years and some that were there 2. And so they're not all exactly equal, but Christine's girls had a few more years, but they all do the same thing. Basically, they all have to have the same knowledge. So I went in and I started looking at that and I came up with some figures. It also the court administrators, I put them all in one category and then I put, there's 2 sheets per person there.
2 sheets per person. I get one of these.
I also
They're back to
included
back.
the custodians in there also, because they're at the lower.
That's all you did.
So we don't-
That's good.
Take the top 2 and pass it around, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And there is a big increase for some of these girls, but some of them started at such a lower rate than some people that came in. At such, some people came in at, some people came in at much higher rates than new hires in other offices because of their so-called expertise. And, some of the girls got raises because they lost an employee and they took over some of their duties, so they got an increase last year. And you will see, I labeled those number 1, 2, and 3, and those would only get $2,000 because they recently got an increase, or because they came in at such a higher pay increase than the starting girls. Basically, the gist of it is, other than those the ones that had tenure got 5%, and then I just bumped them up to the next higher $1,000. And I actually plugged those into the budget figures. But I'll be and we're actually $11,958 too good. We haven't that much money. Now, on Vance's everybody else got a $2,000 increase. So if y'all are considering doing his, there's $56,000 that I increased his budget in salaries for $2,000 for all the guys. So it wouldn't be that big of a jump to get his guys where he wants them to be. That is not we could probably pull that off and take the balance out of contingency that's sitting at $500,000 that we got to sit there. So let's say $100,000 that we took out there, we could probably make it all work.
And I think it also is not granting any of the other requests from the non-departmental people. It's what we gave them last
Yes,
year.
that's what he gave last year. Okay.
The one that sticks out in my mind real big was the Brown County Museum. We gave 5,000 last year, and they're asking for 59,000.
Well, they got a lot of COVID money too, didn't some of them?
Yeah, they got a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Well, explain your step program here.
And last year, we gave them everything they asked for.
What I did was, I categorized the court administrators. And 2 of them came in at a low rate, and they were way down there. And it being comparable jobs, I kind of adjusted their salaries to be comparable. Yes, it is a big increase for some of them, but if they're all gonna be doing a court administrative job, I didn't give them all up to where the max is, because she's been here such a long time. But they need to be paid comparable based on the types they have. I said, some of them are gonna show a larger increase than others, but to get a step program where everybody's making basically a decent amount within each other, doing the same job, it's gonna take that to do it.
Now, you understand how does your step system work?
Well, everybody's gonna be bumped up to a decent program, to a decent amount
Start
to start with.
with next.
Next year, it'll be just whatever their flat raises are. That's increasing the beginning
So what
salary.
are these are starting salary, I mean, what are starting salaries for this?
Well, let's say, I'm starting salary for basic clerk at $33,000 from here on out, instead of 27.
33 instead of 27.
For one. Now, in this case, where you have, in the administrative, when you have some that have junior, you can start them out at that 40,000. If not, you can bring it down to at least 38. You can bring the starting administrator to 38 if you wanted to. That would be something that you have to agree upon. And like, these are just beginning. These are just beginning. I'm throwing them out there.
That's cool.
And some, you will see, I put the years of service out there so you can see why they're making a little more than some of them. I think that should be taken into account also.
So what bottom dollar, where is that for this?
It,
Still brings us in under.
yeah, plugged into the new budget. We're at we're at $11,000, 958 to good,
In black.
in the black. Now, like I
Roll
said,
that card. Action,
yes,
voter approval, after voter approval.
Okay, we're in black, that's good.
Yeah, but that's a,
He's
maximum you can roll. I mean,
He's
that's,
already in place, I said, ten years back to that.
that's what you're all comfortable starting, phrase everybody, maximum you can. Action. I realize there's appraisal one, that's really not knowing.
It's more for the future, we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. Every time we got, we get one.
That is not it. Is that also including the cost of living?
that is $2,000 for everybody else. Right.
Insurance.
Yes, I said, we take that much to get there, when we want in there. And that part basically coming from cutting the equipment budget in half from 300,000 to 150,000.
So we're having to cut, other budget, cut our contingency out, what else we cutting out, we did?
Equipment.
What,
We normally budget 300,000.
15 last,
Well, we overspent this year because we had to pay for all the parts that he never got from COVID, so we're over budget this year.
about last.
Last year, we were always way under,
How much it was?
like, we're about,
Instead of
we're always,
300, we'd be at
about
200.
we're always about 100,000, if not more, under budget on equipment.
I don't think they heard, last year we gave all the nonprofits everything they asked for, because we paid for it out of COVID, but we told them that was a one-time deal.
Yeah, there's a little one.
They knew, they should have known not to ask for that again.
Joseph, can I make a comment? I have looked over the salaries here, and I honestly don't think it's fair that the maintenance people are making more than some of the clerks who have been here for years longer. I mean, they empty the trash and they clean the bathroom, but I don't get dusted.
A lot more goes into it than that. We deliver. They're the hardest working people in this court.
Maybe, but I never get my office dusted or vacuumed.
All you gotta do is ask.
Why should I have to ask? That's their job.
You know, just remind them, they're good, they're willing, those two people are the most willing people I've ever seen.
I mean, they will sometimes just empty my shredder and just leave it a big old mess. I mean, and obviously they have eyes to see, so I don't think they're worth that much money. That's just my opinion. Maybe so.
Lots of money.
I just looked at all the lower, everything that was paid at the bottom of the total, we'll try to.
Well, they're making more than some of the clerks, some of Sharon's clerks and other clerks.
It's with a clerk of ladder, they don't count on the roof.
Joel, I can't understand you. If you're,
We'll give a clerk a ladder, put them on a roof some days, I mean, it's just kind of different stuff.
I'm not talking about Brian, I'm talking about Sherry. Making 35,000 is proposed salary.
Are we ready for, the Humane Society? Come on up.
He just brought in, that name, everything else. That name, everything else, that's what you'll be figuring out. How you step forward.
Welcome.
Sorry, this is my first meeting, so I will.
It's all right, just relax.
How are y'all?
Maybe Thursday.
DORSET.
Are we at capacity out there, or?
We are beyond capacity. Our shelter is, the capacity is to hold about 85 animals, and we have 188 animals here right now. So, I know that previously
you guys were giving about $8,500 last year, that would double our relief money. And I think the ask was 25,000 this year. I know it's a big increase, but I'll tell you guys like how we came up with that. Our projected intake this year is 1,800 animals. That is up from 1,400 last year. So it's a little over 25%. And that is with us closing off what's called owner surrender. So if you have an animal and you can't care for it, ideally the Humane Society could take that animal and care for it, but we can't right now because we just don't have the resources. We don't have space, we are low on a lot of funds, and we really don't have the staff for that. So in June, we cut off owner surrender, and we are still projected to get 1,800 animals. And so if we could open up that owner surrender back, we would be at probably 2,200 to 2,300 animals, which is just beyond our capabilities. A couple of the reasons that we asked for the 25,000, how we kind of factored that, was that we would like to increase the salary for our employees. Our staff start at $10 an hour. That is way below what a lot of people make. We thought $12 would be a great base pay hourly. We have a lot of struggles with employee retention, and I know that is not unique to our situation. But we would really like to see that, to honor the staff that have stayed with us through some turmoil and to possibly get some staff to come out that are willing to stay. We have some maintenance issues that they've kind of been a long time coming. We have across the board air conditioner issues at our entire facility. We have 3 buildings. We have a main building and 2 outbuildings. We house animals in all 3 buildings. The city of Brownwood has committed close to $17,000 to repair the main building. But we are looking at an $11,000 repair to our newest kennel building and about a $10,000 repair to our oldest building, which was the original structure at our facility. So you're looking at in the neighborhood of about $50,000 to $55,000 in just air conditioner repair. This summer, I'm sure you've seen it in a lot of the county facilities and city facilities, that the needs of the air conditioner just, it just couldn't keep up.
You said the city of Brownwood is 50, right?
Yes, sir.
The word we check, from the other cities in the county, did y'all start?
We actually increased our ask for veins, and we're working on our ask for early also. Yes, sir. We aren't asking you guys to cover all of that at all. We've actually applied for a couple of grant opportunities to try to help with that. We're just waiting to hear. I just know that our budget for last year is going to be blown out of the water this coming year. I think it is. I do. With inflation and just.
What is Baines and Early contribute?
So Baines pays per animal, like a flat rate, just a few $100 a month, and then per animal. Early gives. This was kind of.
$3,500 a year.
Yeah, this was before. I've only been on the board since
How
then
much?
in
About
February.
$3,500 a year.
And I think we're increasing their ask to 10,000. So another pretty large jump. We asked, the city of Brownwood is contributing much more this year than they have in the past. I think their figure is close to 130,000 this year, where it's been much less than that. They've given us a $50,000 spay and neuter budget that has been wonderful, and that goes to the community. That's not for shelter animals, that's for anyone that lives in the city of Brownwood that would like to have their animals spayed and neutered at a discount, they're able to come purchase the voucher, and that's really exciting. It's a good move forward to try to cut down the stray population. I know just our operating costs. I know y'all seen it with everybody. I know everyone's coming here and said they've increased. Just medications, we vet our animals, and medications are up about 20%. So we're just in a struggle, and I know that everyone else is too. So.
Appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
My heart breaks every time I walk in.
It's really tough. It is. I've only been on the board since February, but I've been involved with the shelter for about 14 years, and this year is not any different than any other year, other than just the large jump in our population and cost. So, do you have any other questions?
You understand what we're up against.
I do, yes, sir.
Good role.
Sure. And I'm available for questions if you have further. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anybody here from Home Solutions?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry.
yes,
Come on.
sorry. Hi.
We're early, but if you're ready.
We're short. Yeah, we're gonna give it a good go.
You by yourself, nobody else coming in.
I'll support, right? But, so, I'm working really, I'm the new executive director for Brown County Home Solutions. I'm working really closely with Linda Heitman to maintain everything, through these transitions of her leaving. I know that I just recently found out, we have not requested the remaining $5,000 from last year, but we are in the middle of a project, so we expect to request that funding in the next week.
You mean the current fiscal year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we did ask this year for the annual 5,000 again. Obviously with inflation, it is costing a fortune to keep the doors open. Food costs are obviously an issue. We have dropped our capacity down to 10 overnight due to staffing and the cost of operations. So we're hoping that with that extra money, we'll be able to get our capacity back up to 20 and operate at full capacity and get more people off the street and into permanent housing.
We're all 10 of those beds usually full every day.
So, yeah, and we're getting them into permanent housing pretty quickly. But you know, with HUD and the lack of housing availability, we're running into a lot of barriers to get
So
that.
what are you asking?
5,000.
Okay, so it's 5,000.
Last year's five, and you got this year.
You're not asking for any more?
No, sir.
So the 5,000 she didn't collect, was that the ARPA money funds?
Yes, sir.
They didn't come get those.
No, they haven't gotten there.
Yeah,
It's budgeted, they just haven't gotten it.
They did get the ARPA.
Yes, last year they got that.
Yes.
So right now,
They've got
Should have-
$5,000.
you've got
Yes, sir.
5,000 coming up. You need to submit a request
Yes,
for that
sir.
5,000
Mhm.
so you get it.
We're
But
doing
you-
that within the next week, so we're getting all of our paperwork together because we put up a wall. That's where
So-
we spent that money.
After October 1, you're requesting another 5,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
that's fine.
We appreciate you holding on to that.
We're trying, that's for sure. I appreciate you guys' support and even hearing us out. It's a struggle out there, for sure.
I appreciate you know that.
Anything helps at this point, and every bit of it. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
All right, that's all we had scheduled for today. Wrap up
Okay,
the-
yes, Linda's actually working with me on it today, so we can get that. Yeah.
Then you're like, what you're talking about, this work, works.
Okay, and then I'll have her $800 over here. Thank you so much.
Show them names. I'm trying to see if there's something. We're gonna fill the positions, got the file, we've got starting salary, we got so many years or something, that's through some kind of information.
Yeah, basically what I did was on the senior employees, the ones that had quite a few more years than the others, I did 5% and then I just bumped that up to the next $1,000.
Guess what I'm asking, but what am I gonna see next year?
Next year will just be across the board, whatever, if there's any raises across the board.
You're not, so this is not, I thought you, instead like the sheriff's office, instead program.
No, this is bumping everybody up to a decent.
Okay, this is not like.
And then in the future, it would just be the cost
We
of
just
living.
do their regular
I'm
raises.
trying to put my mind in how we're
Yeah.
step. This is just a one time. I thought y'all had created a step program.
Well,
They talked about that.
I mean, I can go back and rework something if that's what you want to get these up to where they're at, but
Well, I guess I'm looking some long time, because I thought they wanted to get together a salary, and create a step program that's understandable, that's works across all of the court offices.
She checked with it, and I think all the clerks are
Yeah.
agreeable to what she did. that far behind?
I don't know.
It's in
I
his
wouldn't
budget.
get on this side. I don't know about that. I think y'all are getting
Now,
the
this budget
2,000,
still doesn't
what they
include
want. Everybody else is getting the 2,000. Well, that was planned, or did you change that the last time? I understand that you just wanted to do just a flat 2,000 across the board, right? So everybody else that's not budgeted gets the 2,000.
I still don't think she's.
You got everybody else, everybody else has to do a lot of. I'm not saying I'm good, I just.
Well, I might want to have for a fact, for lack of a better word, what we're trying to do is get them up to.
It is.
That was my
And there'll be differentiation
I don't think
all years to come.
Well, in the sheriff's department, because we need, because it's very, we talk about how much you're gonna hire, how much you pay to hire them. So you get, there's not about creating a typical test program for all of it. So that's not just, this is just basically.
Well, that's what, that's.
You call this more like an equalization, you feel like.
Basically,
On the ladies, sheriff department.
yes, they're in there.
Included.
Yeah, I forgot to see, I didn't realize it was on the back.
There's a back, yeah. If you want to flip it, there's some more people in the back.
My printer does front and back, I don't know why.
That's why if you're missing out on a couple, there's more in the back.
Or you can
Yeah.
But I just want to reiterate, all the clerks agree.
I sat down with all of them and they've all looked at it and they were pretty happy with the figures we came up with.
Just like a few years ago, we focused on law enforcement. Now, this year, I'd like to focus on
I feel it's 7,000.
drugs. We're doing it now.
Yeah. I hope so.
There's a $6,750 increase.
That's.
There is a 4,000, there is a 3,000,
Is that far behind?
42. Okay, here's a 3,000. There is a 5,000. There is a 4,800. There is a 2,000, 3,000. There's a 5,000.
So we.
Down here, there's 5,000.
I'm gonna go with these on here.
That's the clear. It's a year. 4,000.
Anything else?
3,000.
No, I appreciate the elected officials,
Yeah,
the
the lawyers in the DA's office and the lawyer in my office and my office.
there would be the $2,000. Sorry, there would
It would
be
be
the
the
$2,000.
2,000 straight across.
Yeah, pretty much anybody that's not on this list will get, I believe Jesse said that, the
So
2,000.
these are all, are we calling these all clerical positions?
Yes.
These are all in clerical positions.
Well,
And they're different.
Well,
all no,
Well,
because you've got court administrators,
Yeah, clerks,
they're administrators. And
and you've got,
most of them are clerical, yes.
yes, but you've also got court coordinators and other stuff.
Open position.
Anything else that we don't listen?
Well, I'm still lying.
I'm gonna get.
Do we wanna say all elected officials get $2,000? So judge can put out that letter? I don't know if you need to do it yet or not.
The deadline's coming up.
The deadline is coming. I don't know when it is. I don't remember.
Jennifer's got the. We just had an emergency.
So even with the elected officials, I want to make sure we're under that, we're in the black. Even if the elected officials have to forego something, I don't want to see that. but
Yeah,
we
it's in here now.
Yeah,
I just have to do a little, like, meet with the sheriff and see how that kind of is increasing.
And I don't remember the budget date either for publication. Kevin, do you know what it is?
I have it wrote down on my calendar.
Yeah, I'm surprised the sheriff didn't talk about fuel costs. There you go. I know, I think maybe it'll be increasing.
It is for him too.
So fuel costs have been a killer on us. Should be.
It's good. It's like they do. It's done a great job on short.
But nobody's. Consider that. Price of earth come back down a little bit.
Does the sheriff have a separate line item for fuel?
Operating.
Operating costs.
But like, all we can remember is the salary.
He stays on.
God, it just stays in the black, so we have to make an adjustment to do that. I mean, but I don't think he's ever gone to raise it right now. So
And that upset the figure, see what we're saying about this fuel.
Yeah,
Doubles, we have doubles.
it's been a lot more.
We've gone through our agenda for today. Does anybody else have anything?
He's actually at 251, we normally budget him 250, but I thought that would be 65.
And that still puts us in the black.
I made increases where I knew we were gonna need the increases.
So the bottom dollar is we're still. All right, anybody else have anything?
No, Jesse's gonna tell you about that. We talked to him, we can construction.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Talking himself.
Will?
All right, then, are we ready to adjourn? All right, we are adjourned.
Sorry.